Hello there and welcome back to the channel. This is Mel's Gaming here with another The Hunter Call of the Wild video, or more specifically talking about the addition of dogs to the Hunter Call of the Wild. We now have a release date, which is Tuesday the 30th of March for all platforms. It is going to be a synchronized release across all platforms, and the cost of the DLC will be $3.99 USD apparently, or your equivalent, so only going to be a couple of pounds British. It's not going to be very much at all, I don't think, in any currency, considering what is actually going to be in the content for this DLC. So, included with the update that will bring the dogs, there will be bug fixes and there will be all kinds of other stuff. The first dog that you will get will be free, and then afterwards, every additional dog you buy will cost, I think it was, if I just look at my notes, it will be 45,000 credits per dog after your first free one. So it's going to be next Tuesday that they come out. The official content creators will be getting stuff a little bit early, but over this coming weekend. But for everyone else, it will be the 30th of March. So taking a look at what they showed on the stream, so here you can see that there is going to be a radial system when it comes to giving the dog commands and, praising it and everything you can do with the dogs in that sense. So that's really interesting, and I think that will be a really good system. We can see on the radial here that it says sit, stay, lay down, track, heel, and praise. And you do have to keep your dog praised, apparently, because it will affect how content it is, according to what they were saying on the stream. And the more content your dog is, the more willing it is to work for you. So the better it's going to work, the better it will be at finding things for you. Apparently, the dog will pick up blood trails, obviously being a bloodhound, but will also pick up nearby points of interest such as droppings and apparently fresh tracks, but you can't tell it to follow a specified track. Now, we did get to look at the traits, and I will include all of the traits that you can have for the dog's, basically the dog's skill tree. So that's really interesting, and you can see on the left-hand side there that there will be a tab specifically for your hunting dog. So I'm guessing that they've put just hunting dog because of what they said that they are thinking possibly about adding other breeds in the future, but for now they want to get this one out and get this one polished and get feedback and all of those kind of things. So that's really interesting, and of course you can have a look at the traits like I said in a moment. There is 2 traits per every 5 levels, and you can choose 1 trait per every 5 levels. You can't have both, it has to be one or the other. So you can have many different combinations there of what your dog will be like, and that's why they've given you the option to have many different dogs. They said in the stream that there will be 25 kennel spaces apparently, so that's quite a few, so many different dogs, many different combinations. And here you can see the companion level, the tracker level, the fact that it'll have a focus bar and a bond, so you need to be keeping the dog focused, attentive. It needs to be, well, bonding with you. And obviously there you can keep an eye on the levelling for your dog, so you can see how many points it's gaining and how much it's got left to go. Then going into the weapon locker in one of the lodges, you could see the option for the purchasable dogs, and you can see there again the cost of the dogs is 45,000 in-game credits, and you can see again on the right hand side all of the coat colours, which I'm going to ping up in a moment so you can see each of the coat colours. I think there was just one that I didn't get to screenshot, but I think there's most of them in there, and most of the more different ones. I think one of them was just one of the more, I think it was one of the tan coloured ones, and it was very similar to the other tan colour that I have included. But they do look really interesting, and I do really like the fact that they are going to be basically in their own section. It's not just going to be like another equipment slot like it is in Classic. So I think that's really, really, really good. And I think that there's a lot of really interesting stuff. Like I said, the fact that you'll be able to have so many different combinations for the skill tree and what the dog is actually going to be like. So some other things I'll run through whilst the coat colours are up. So the dog cannot be killed. It cannot be shot, because I saw so many people asking that, and I thought it was a very odd thing to ask if you can shoot your own dog. So why people would ask that, I don't know, but you can't. Like I said, first dog is free, the others are 45,000 credits. There are more there. It sounds like there will be other breeds in the future. TK, who you can see occasionally on the screen there with Meggles, said there is a good chance, but that it's more likely to be Pointer and Retrievers next. So that's that. Um, the update will include bug fixes, like I said, as well. Uh, that's pretty much it from the notes I took down throughout the stream. Obviously, you can choose if your dog is male or female, and you can name it. You can only name it once, so make sure that you choose a name that you actually like because you can't rename it. And so, if you wanted to change the name, effectively, you'd have to purchase another dog. So that's that basically. It will be on all maps. You can have the dog as well. It's not map limited. And now we can look at some of the traits here on the skill tree. So this is unlocked with points. So level up your dog's companionship to unlock traits, and one of the first ones is loving. Basically, it's like bonding related. And then another interesting one is shortcut, which is the other option for level 5. Your dog can skip detour tracks in favour of more recent clues. So if you've got an animal that's going back and forth over his tracks, the dog can override that. Sixth sense, your dog has a higher chance of sensing when an animal is about to be spooked, so that will really help if you're not so good at knowing when an animal's about to spook. That will help you with that. And then I think the other one for that is nosy, which increases the distance at which your dog can find a blood clue. So that will be really useful if you're if you're not sure where the blood is, you can then send the dog to find the blood for you. And then at level 15, you get basically a more cosmetic option, which is Howl, and your dog will be able to howl like a wolf on command. So that's really interesting. That's like a trick, like I said, more of a cosmetic-y type option. So that's really, really nice, and I like that quite a lot. Nosier, your dog is better at picking up the scent from smaller blood clues, so probably things like flesh wounds, where there's only a very small amount of blood that is left on the trail. So that will be helpful with that. And then at level 20, the first option you get is sharp, and your dog is naturally more willing to work and has increased focus. So again, working on the work drive for your dog and keeping it focused on the task at hand and not getting distracted. And then I really like this one, it's spotted. Your dog has a chance to highlight the wounded animal you're tracking. I will definitely be going for that at level 20 because I want my dog, if I'm tracking a high level animal that has been wounded, unfortunately, I want my dog to help me spot that. And then at level 25, you get close. Your dog has a higher chance of staying close to you, so he's not going to wander off as much. And that will be helpful because from what they were saying on the stream, it doesn't show on your hunter mate, but it does show on the map. And the other option for level 25 is Poopdar. Your dog has a higher chance to find fresh droppings when idle. So basically, the dog can just point out to you, oh, there's fresh tracks here. Would you like to follow it, basically? And then moving on to level 30, your dog has a chance to ward off predator attacks if you choose Brave as its trait. So if you've got wolves or even lions, the dog should be able to help defend you. So that's really interesting. And then the one that I'll be going for, which is Master Tracker, your dog has a small chance to find the harvest without needing to follow the trail. So that will be really useful. Basically, you can just send the dog off and it has a chance of just finding it and pointing it out to you straight away. When the dog does find a carcass, the dog stops and barks. So that will help you basically to tell you where you need to be if you're a little way behind. And it did seem like the dog, if it got too far ahead of you in the stream, would actually stop and wait for you. So that's basically all the information that I gathered from today's EW stream. I'll link the stream down in the description as well, so you can go and check that out if you want to. All their information, I think, I pinged up on the stream. From the stream, I pinged up in one of the screenshots that I had of the dogs. So make sure you go and follow them. So that's basically it, and I'm really looking forward to getting one of these guys and levelling them up and seeing what we can do with them. I already know what coat colour I'm going to choose. I think it's probably going to be the more dark black and tan colour. So I'd really like to know what you're thinking of naming your dog, what coat colours, and all of that. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed, and thank you very much for watching.